Don't worry, Katie. I won't let anything harm you. Ever again.
It's nice to have a friend.
When the parents of a young girl tragically pass away in a car crash, the older sister steps in to care for the youngster. Unable to cope with her tech-focused job, as well as her new parenting responsibilities, she combines the two, creating an android best friend for her young sibling. M3GAN is a thriller movie that combines topics around artificial intelligence and themes around loss and death with slightly corny and derivative horror. The result is a movie that is smart, funny, thrilling, cheesy, and sometimes emotional and scary. On paper, the story of M3GAN sounds like a reboot to the Child's Play franchise. It's about an evil doll that wreaks havoc, and it shares similarity with the recent attempt at rebooting Child's Play, incorporating tech and AI into the plot. In actuality, M3GAN is better than the reboot of Child's Play, but not all that different from it either. M3GAN plays around with genres. It presents itself as a horror movie, but the horror doesn't arrive until well into the second half of the movie. Even then, many of the horrific moments have elements of humour and action mixed in, dampening the scares and the shocks. This is not a bad thing though. In doing so, M3GAN becomes an enjoyable thriller movie that seems to know when its story is teetering on the rails of believability, and it is not afraid to poke fun at itself with some corny, cheesy moments and a decent dry joke or two. Not all its attempts at genre conversion work. The intentions of certain moments and scenes is sometimes unclear. For example, one sequence features M3GAN slaying a teenage boy in an act of vengeance. There is some gruesome, gory footage here that one would assume is meant to scare and shock the viewer. The problem is that the gore in the scene itself goes on too long, moving from action to horror to comedy within seconds. I rarely knew how to react to M3GAN, and this was just one example out of many. Towards the back end of the movie, M3GAN firmly shifts itself into science fiction action territory. The stakes are raised, the action and the set pieces take center stage, and it ends in a very cool, very fun, very entertaining way. In a nice touch, earlier moments return in the finale to play a bigger role, sending a strong thematic message in the process. The final act is well done. It is a little slow getting there, however, with much of the first act of the movie slowly presenting its characters and setting up the scenario, with a distinct absence of many of the fun, entertaining moments that follow. At the front of the movie are the two lead performances. Allison Williams is commendable as Gemma, the older sister who now has much larger, grander responsibilities as a mother figure to Katie. She does a great job of showcasing the struggles of Gemma's life, of having to balance her work life, her deadlines and her adult life, with the task of being a mother figure. Much of the movie is about Gemma learning to balance this and learning how to better herself. She spends a lot of time working on AI and tech, in the process discovering that her passion and focus is distracting her from what really matters. Katie meanwhile is also good, but she is given a little less to deal with. For much of the movie, Katie is forced to act depressed and sad. It makes sense since she's just lost her parents, but it does mean that her character, while sympathetic, is also less interesting and entertaining at times compared to others in the movie. In many ways, Katie is more of a plot device than a fully fleshed out character. She is an excuse to test out the evil doll. The young actress does however do a good job with the material, showcasing a range of emotions well and making the limited character her own, as well as highly believable. Unlike many child actors and characters in such movies, she is never annoying or frustrating. She never says or does anything to make viewers roll their eyes. That's a good thing. Of course, much of the attention of the movie is on M3GAN herself. The android doll is played by two people, one performing the physical motions and the other providing the voice. Thanks to great prosthetics, makeup, costuming and perhaps some CGI here and there, M3GAN really comes alive in the movie. As the movie progresses, the android really stands out as a great villain, a sneaky, deceptive antagonist that is frustrating to the heroes, scary to its enemies, and comforting to Katie. The movie does a great job at showing the various moods and tones of M3GAN, really making her a consistently captivating character, even when the prosthetics and the voice deliberately limit the emotions being conveyed. There are moments, as already mentioned, when the movie steps into cheesy and corny territory. Many of these moments revolve around M3GAN herself, particularly when she interacts in an unexpected way. For example, to comfort Katie, she sometimes sings snippets from hit songs. These moments often feel unnecessary and are some of the prime examples of an unusual, unclear tone or purpose in the movie. Are they supposed to be funny? Are they supposed to be scary? I don't know, but they do work on a story level as a comforting tool to a young child. M3GAN is a fun movie. It's often funny and it's often smart when it delves into its deeper themes and messaging. It presents a highly interesting and compelling antagonist, and it also gives us two well-realized protagonists to root for. The movie struggles with its tone, often making its overall goal unclear, but when it sticks to certain tones it does a good job, particularly in the final act of the movie when it presents good action scenes.